Pakistani Rangers. They nabbed Imran Khan from the premises of the same High Court. This was on Tuesday. Khan was getting his biometrics done. He was going to apply for bail. Even before he could enter the courtroom, he was arrested. Today, his lawyers said this arrest was illegal. They said the NAB had not informed Imran Khan about the probe, and they heard about the case only through the media. The court agreed with these arguments, and it granted bail to him. This was a sweeping order. The court has issued clear instructions. Imran Khan was arrested in the Al Qadir Trust case. It relates to the acquisition of land for a trust. The charge is that Imran Khan got this land as bribe from a businessman. Now he's got bail for 2 weeks. But like I said, this is just one case. There are 120 others. He could be released now and arrested in a different case again. He's got some protection. The court said Imran Khan cannot be arrested in any new cases, but this protection is valid for just 5 days. So he could soon be back in court. Today, he's said to have spoken with some journalists in the High Court, the Islamabad High Court, where he appeared. He said that he was hit on the head while being arrested, and he wasn't able to get in touch with his wife. He also said it was not an arrest, but an abduction. And I'm quoting Imran Khan, the law of the jungle has been instated in the country. He blames the army chief, General Asim Munir, for the unrest. Listen to this. It's not the security institution. It's just one man, the army chief. There is no democracy in the army. The army is getting maligned by what is happening right now in the country. This is what Imran Khan said. Meanwhile, soon after he was granted bail, Pakistan's Interior Minister Rana Sanaullah also spoke. Listen to what he said. I said it very clearly yesterday that if Imran gets relief in all the cases which are registered against him and gets protective bail, we won't arrest him. In fact, we will try to get his bail nullified. And if he's given bail in some cases and some cases are still left, we will definitely arrest him. So the message is clear. The Sharif government wants Imran Khan behind bars. They want to settle scores, perhaps. When Imran Khan was Prime Minister, he cracked down hard on his political rivals. He went after Nawaz Sharif, Shehbaz Sharif, Maryam Nawaz, the daughter of Nawaz Sharif, even Asif Ali Zardari, the former president of Pakistan, also the father of Bilawal Bhutto Zardari. They all went through a legal ordeal. And now that they're in power, they're paying back in the same coin. Today, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif came down hard, not just on Imran Khan, but also Pakistani courts. He called Imran Khan and his party liars. He suggested that the judges are biased. Sharif said that the courts did nothing when his party was facing scrutiny. Let me quote. Did they, the courts, ever take notice when we were being sent to jail? What's he talking about? As Prime Minister Imran Khan put the Sharif brothers in jail for corruption, Nawaz Sharif was found guilty. He managed to escape on health grounds and is now in exile in the UK. His brother Shehbaz Sharif serves as his proxy in Islamabad. When Imran Khan was ousted from power, the Sharifs joined hands with their arch rivals, the Bhutto Zardaris, to secure power. For decades, they've been political opponents, and now their unity government is basically a marriage of convenience. But it doesn't seem to have popular support. Protests continue to target the government of Pakistan. Today, a group of lawyers marched in Faisalabad. They called the current government, quote-unquote, fascist. And this is what's working for Imran Khan, the popular support, the outrage over his arrest. It brought Pakistan to a grinding halt. At least 10 people were killed, some 2,000 were arrested. Military establishments were attacked. The army had to be deployed across Pakistan to restore order. And Imran Khan remains determined. He wants to return to power, and his supporters are fueling his campaign. But to become Prime Minister again, he will need more than public support. He will have to find a way to overcome or do business with the Pakistani army. This drama is no less than a cricket match. The army is the umpire, Imran is the charismatic captain, and Shehbaz Sharif is the rival player. But now there is a pitch invader too, a spectator who has thrown a googly. I'm talking about the courts. A couple of audio leaks have raised questions about the Pakistani judiciary. One of them features Imran Khan and his spokesperson. Listen to this.
एक आजम साथी से ये भी जरूर बात करो कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट में भी इसके ऊपर वो करें, क्योंकि ये तो बिल्कुल जो इन्होंने किया है ये तो बड़ा मैलिफाइड है।
हाँ जी, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल सर, हम
तो आजम साथी का कहना है
जी सर आप बेफिक्र हो जाए। हम
तो ये नहीं, ये क्या कर रहा है ये जो चीफ जस्टिस है, ये तो ऑर्डर लेता है इनसे।
अभी इसने नैब वाले आए, फलाने आए, तो हमने कहा कि जी अभी सलमान सफदर साहब को मैं उनके बिल्कुल सामने खड़ी हूँ कि भाई आप उनको कहें कि कोर्ट में प्रोड्यूस करें, हमें कोर्ट में लेके आए। ख्वाजा हारिस साहब और उनके मैं बिल्कुल साथ बैठी हूँ कि कोर्ट में प्रोड्यूस करें ना। हम नहीं ऐसे जा सकते, हम कोर्ट के अंदर ही मौजूद है। जिस ये जज के पास आपका लगा हुआ, चीफ जस्टिस के पास केस
नहीं, लेकिन ये तो उनसे ऑर्डर लेता है।
You heard Imran Khan. He says the Islamabad High Court's Chief Justice takes orders from them. Is that the army? Or is that Shehbaz Sharif? It's all the same, I guess. Perhaps Imran Khan was too harsh because today the same court granted him bail. It came 24 hours after the Supreme Court did the same. Which brings us to the second leak. This one features a pro-Imran lawyer and a Pakistani journalist. The lawyer correctly predicts what the top court would do. First summon him, then give him bail for the day, and finally refer him to the Islamabad High Court. Now, unless this man had a crystal ball, that's strange. So here's the big question. Did the Imran camp know the Supreme Court would help them? Has the judiciary sided with them? Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif certainly thinks so. This is what he said.
NAB has created genuine cases of corruption against him, but today the courts have become an iron wall to protect him.
There are two possibilities here. One, the courts are just doing their job. I'm not an expert in Pakistani law, but arresting someone who came for a bail hearing is not legally sound, so the courts were bound to question it. Or two, the judiciary is in on it. Wouldn't be the first Pakistani institution to be compromised. The fact is, Pakistan has been divided down the middle. You either support Imran Khan or you oppose him. But do those divisions extend to the army? If they do, this should get interesting. Reports say Imran Khan does have support among soldiers, which is why Rawalpindi tolerated him for so long. Just think about it. Imran Khan called General Bajwa a traitor. He accused the army of toppling his government. That's enough to be exiled or worse. But Imran Khan carried on in his merry way. He was arrested only this week. So perhaps divisions do exist, but are they enough to help Imran Khan? The Pakistani army may have a sinister agenda, but it's by and large a disciplined force. It comes with years of meddling and coups, you could say. The soldiers may have opinions, but they're unlikely to break ranks, at least not over Imran Khan. But in the past, senior officers have gone against orders. Let me tell you what happened in 1977. There were massive protests in Lahore. The army ordered troops to open fire, but 3 brigade commanders refused. They offered to resign, then fire on their own people. The effect was chilling. The army demoted all 3 officers, reduced their pensions and declared them retired due to fault. Such sentiments are especially true in Punjab. You could call it the backbone of the Pakistani army. Around 65% of all Pakistani soldiers are from Punjab, the province of Punjab. General Asim Munir is the 4th successive Punjabi army chief. So cracking down in Punjab is not easy for the army. It's like firing on their own people. At the same time, standing by could be counterproductive. Though he's a Pathan, Imran Khan is popular in Punjab. Around 1,000 protesters have been arrested from there. That's what makes Imran Khan different. That's why the army lost interest in him. Imran Khan is not used to playing second fiddle, it seems. He likes the spotlight on himself. Just look at the 1992 World Cup campaign. Imran Khan promoted himself and batted in the top order. He also took the final wicket that won them the World Cup. Does that sound like someone who takes orders? Unlikely. Imran, the captain, has heavily influenced Imran, the politician. His man management skills are on full display. Just look at the courts. I'm not saying that they're doing Imran Khan's bidding, but they're not doing the army's either, and that's saying something in Pakistan. The judges could have easily rolled over. Instead, they granted him bail. Imran Khan was banking on that. You cannot capture power in Pakistan without institutional support. He knows that best. But what if those institutions are divided? Well, that's the challenge today. It's a test of Imran Khan's popularity for sure, but it's also a test of the army's patience and power. Let's discuss your phone now, specifically your WhatsApp. Do you use it every day? In that case, you may see it as an extension of your life. Your loved ones are on it, telling you about their day, sharing photographs, good morning messages perhaps. Your parents are on it, asking you about your well-being. Your office groups are buzzing most of the time. If you're doing so much on WhatsApp, in fact, chances are you're taking calls too. And you won't be alone in doing all of this. Most Indians use WhatsApp for pretty much everything. But is it safe? That question is back in the news, and the government of India is investigating. It is looking into how safe WhatsApp is. Now, what triggered this? A serious allegation. WhatsApp may be snooping on you, listening to your conversations. Says who? An engineer at Twitter. A few days back, he tweeted this photograph. It was from his phone. What does it show? A log of sorts. According to this user, WhatsApp repeatedly used his phone's microphone. And every time WhatsApp accessed the mic, the phone recorded it. Look at the timeline. There's an entry at 4:20 a.m., then 4:22 a.m., 4:37 a.m., 4:39 a.m. At 4:41, WhatsApp accessed the mic of this phone for 14 minutes. And then there are more entries. 5:59 a.m., WhatsApp accessed the mic for 2 minutes. Then at 6:25 a.m. for 26 minutes. What was WhatsApp trying to do here? Why was it accessing the mic so many times, and that too for several minutes on end? Was it trying to listen to the user? Could it be happening with you too? Most of us give microphone access to the app. Without this, you won't be able to make calls. But in this instance, the user was not making any calls. In fact, he was asleep. I have a quote. This is what he said. WhatsApp has been using the microphone in the background while I was asleep and since I woke up at 6 a.m. and that's just a part of the timeline. What's going on? Indeed, what is going on? It's a legit question. Why does WhatsApp need to access the mic at night so frequently and for such long durations? Now, these questions are being asked by the government of India too. India's IT Minister Rajiv Chandrasekhar has issued a statement. This is what he says. This is an unacceptable breach in violation of privacy. We will be examining this immediately and will act on any violation of privacy even as the new Digital Personal Data Protection Bill is being readied. And what is WhatsApp's response to all of this? Remember, the app is owned by Meta. That's also the parent company of Facebook. They've issued a public response to the user who first raised concerns, that Twitter engineer who shared his phone screenshot. And WhatsApp says, this happened because of a bug. Again, I have a quote. We've been in touch with the Twitter engineer who posted an issue with his Pixel phone and WhatsApp. We believe this is a bug on Android that misattributes information in their privacy dashboard and have asked Google to investigate and remediate. So they have shifted blame on Google. WhatsApp says Google needs to fix their operating system. It might be just that, a bug. But WhatsApp's troubles do not end there. The app is in hot water over another problem too, that is spam calls. In recent days, WhatsApp users, especially in India, have been inundated by spam calls. They've been getting a lot of these calls. Many users have posted screenshots online. In several instances, users get missed calls from international phone numbers. The callers had country codes of African and Southeast Asian nations. These are spam calls. WhatsApp wants users to block these numbers. Again, we have a statement from them. This is what they've said. Bad actors find different ways to scam users. International scam call is a new way that bad actors have recently adopted. We expect to be able to control the current incident effectively. We will continue to work relentlessly towards ensuring a safe experience for our users. We're working on it. That is the response from WhatsApp. For New Delhi, that's not good enough. Reports say the government of India is issuing a notice. This is a developing story. We'll keep track. Do you shop online? It's hard to find someone who doesn't. It's so comfortable to sit on your couch and order stuff, groceries, clothes, gadgets, name it, and you can order it. One company really revolutionized this process, and that's Amazon. They turned online shopping into a billion-dollar business. Today, you can find anything on their website, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Just how ugly? Well, take a look. This is a product listed on Amazon's website. Lashkar-e-Toiba leather coasters. This is not a joke. It's a real listing. The coasters have the LET logo on them. If you scroll below, you can find more details. There are 6 pieces. They have a non-slip design. They're made of leather. And what's more, you can customize them. Pick any color of your choice. Honestly, I'm lost for words. Amazon is selling terror-themed coasters. The item is currently unavailable, but don't worry. Just ask Amazon and they'll inform you when it's back. How does something like this even happen? Oversight, ignorance, or lack of concern? Either way, it's time to educate Amazon. LET is a terror group based in Pakistan. Their sole objective, to hurt India. It was founded by Hafiz Saeed in the 1980s. The money and training came from Pakistan's deep state. The LET has masterminded multiple terror attacks on India, like the 2001 Parliament attack, the 26/11 Mumbai attack, the 2019 Pulwama attack. It's designated as a terror group across the world, in India, in the UK, in the US, in the European Union, and also at the United Nations Security Council. But on Amazon, it's a coaster brand. The company has a lot of questions to answer. How did a product like this get listed? Who listed it? And why wasn't it taken down? Because if this was a joke, it's a bad one. Lashkar-e-Toiba has killed dozens of innocent Indians. The name itself evokes trauma. So putting their logo on coasters is simply not funny. The other possibility is even more sinister. The possibility of this being a propaganda campaign. It's up to Amazon to find out. I'm sure sellers give some sort of identification when listing products. This one was listed on the 10th of May. 2 days later, it's still on the website. What does that say about Amazon's product checks? Inadequate at best, dangerous at worst. Here's what their website says about offensive products. Our policies prohibit the sale of products that promote, incite, or glorify hatred, violence, racial, sexual, or religious intolerance, or promote organizations with such views. Well, I'm not a sales expert, but I think a terrorist group ticks that box. In fact, every box. Amazon has robots scanning new products regularly. They look for problematic symbols or text. How did they miss the LET logo? The listing even mentions the full name, Lashkar-e-Toiba, so clearly Amazon needs to reevaluate its process. Maybe put more actual people on the job. Because this isn't an isolated case. Amazon has a history of selling problematic and dangerous stuff, like this. In 2009, a video game about rape was sold on the platform. It allowed players to sexually assault women. And Amazon put it up for sale. In 2010, they messed up again. This book was listed on Amazon's website, The Pedophile's Guide to Love and Pleasure. What's more, Amazon defended it. They said we can't ban books because the message is objectionable. First time someone called pedophilia objectionable. I think the right word is criminal. Until 2008, Amazon sold these I Love Hitler t-shirts. They were removed after the World Jewish Congress intervened. I can give you more examples. In 2018, Amazon was found selling a book written by Osama bin Laden. You think that's bad? They were also selling a bomb-making manual. How did all of this escape the filter process? Here in India, Amazon has had to remove multiple products, like leggings with Hindu gods on them, or these religious doormats. So the problem is multifaceted. There is a lack of cultural understanding and sensitivity. There is also a bigger lack of effort and common sense. Why else would you sell Hitler t-shirts and rape games? Amazon needs to find a solution to this problem. Listing and then removing cannot be the answer. The key to such problems is to prevent such listings in the first place. And I'm not saying it's easy. There are probably millions of sellers on the platform. Filtering each and every product will be hard. It will take time. But then again, you're worth $1.1 trillion. Surely you can invest in this.
Will go to Islamabad High Court again and complete the process. And then definitely he will come out of the Islamabad High Court. So NAB can arrest him again. But it's not only one case. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Pakistan also told Imran Khan that there are many cases against you. And but he was aware that there are many cases. And as far as my knowledge is concerned, in 2 cases, there was an arrest warrant, which was issued many weeks ago, but it was not implemented. If you remember that many weeks ago, a party of the Islamabad police, they went to Lahore and they approached Imran Khan to implement the arrest warrant. They just wanted to show him the arrest warrant. But on that day, the supporters and workers of Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf, they never allowed Islamabad police to enter inside the house of Imran Khan.
Okay.
So that arrest warrant is still valid, and there is another arrest warrant in another case, and also the Tosha Khana case is very important, and Imran Khan was indicted yesterday in the special court. So the problems for Imran Khan are not over.
So those are all the legal troubles and the legalese. But politically, Imran Khan can turn around and tell his supporters that this is exactly what I've been warning all along. These supporters have been rioting, they've been attacking civilian as well as army installations. He can turn around and tell them that this validates and vindicates his position that there is a corrupt system out there represented by the civilian government and maybe even elements within the army. And he's the guy who's trying to fix the system, and now the system is fixing him. So in a sense, the events of the last couple of days, politically speaking, when he is finally fully released, doesn't this vindicate his position?
Actually, the case in which Imran Khan has been
Our next story is about de-dollarization, about ditching the US dollar. We keep hearing about the plans, but how practical are they? Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov recently highlighted a problem. Listen to this.
We accumulated billions of rupees on the accounts in the Indian banks, and we need to use this money, but for this, these rupees must be transferred in another currency, and this is being discussed now.
Russia says it has billions of rupees in Indian banks. The problem is they can't use them. This claim raises two very important questions. One, how has Russia accumulated so much Indian currency? And two, why can't Moscow use it? Let's deal with the first question first. India has been buying a lot more Russian oil since 2022. Imports from Russia are up fivefold. The total value is $41 billion. Normally, this trade would be settled in dollars, but not anymore. Russia has been cut off from the global payment system called SWIFT. The result is this. India uses rupees to buy Russian oil. That answers the first question, how Russia got so much Indian currency. Now to the second question, why isn't Russia being able to use this money, these rupees? Because Russia doesn't buy very much from India. Total exports are just around $2.8 billion. They're down 11% compared to 2021. So do you see the problem here? Russia has a lot of rupees, but they don't have anything to buy with that money. It's like a frozen fund. What's worse, this unused pile could grow. Experts say it could reach tens of billions of rupees. So what options does Russia have? Can they convert these rupees into another currency? Well, not quite. You see, the Indian rupee is not fully convertible. It's partially convertible, meaning you can exchange it for restricted purposes only. There's a growing demand to remove those restrictions, to fully internationalize the rupee. What would that mean? You can convert any amount of rupee into foreign currency, say the dollar or the euro or the yen. The downside is this. The RBI would lose control of the currency. Right now, the RBI intervenes when the rupee is in free fall. That's the Central Bank of India. They sell or buy forex to regulate the rupee. But once it is internationalized, that's not an option. The rupee's value would then be fixed by the market, the international market. Is India ready for that? The experts are divided. But the RBI says it is inevitable. It'll happen at some point. The Russian experience also shows that countries will be willing to hold your currency for only two reasons. A, if they can buy things from you, or B, if the currency is fully convertible. So that's the job for India, to boost manufacturing and export, to make it useful to hold the Indian rupee. Now, this is a plan that should not be rushed. Once the rupee is internationalized, India will be linked closely to the global economy, which also means more volatility. So preparation and planning will be key. Having said that, the end goal is positive. India could end up saving a lot of foreign exchange, not to mention the prestige of being a reserve currency. India isn't the only one trying to do that. China has similar ambitions. They've tried to internationalize the yuan since 2010. It's been a mixed bag, though. China exports a lot, so the demand for the yuan is high. But trust is an issue. People are not confident about China's financial market. Plus, there is a political angle to the yuan. Beijing's plan is to not just to internationalize their currency, but to replace the US dollar. So naturally, there will be a pushback. But India's plans are different. It's about self-interest, not about harming the US dollar. So perhaps a good start is the neighborhood. India and Bangladesh have already agreed to trade in local currencies. Countries like Sri Lanka and Mauritius have also opened accounts in India. It's a good start to build trust in the Indian rupee. Now let's talk about Twitter. Owner Elon Musk is making headlines again. It seems after 5 months, he's abiding by the results of his December Twitter poll. He's finally stepping down as CEO. He tweeted the news yesterday. So who will be his successor? Well, he dropped a hint. Musk said, and I'm quoting, "She will be starting in 6 weeks." So a woman. But who is the she? He did not say, and speculation has been on since. Most observers are betting on one name. Linda Yaccarino, the head of advertising at NBC Universal. The Wall Street Journal says she is the next chief twit. But who is this woman? And will she be able to steady the ship at Twitter? More importantly, what will Musk do once she takes over? Here's a report.
It's finally happening. Elon Musk is stepping down as Twitter CEO. He's passing on the mantle of chief twit. He made the announcement in this Twitter post yesterday. He says she will be starting in 6 weeks. But who is his chosen successor? Who will the Twitter crown pass on to? Apparently, this person. Her name is Linda Yaccarino. She's the head of advertising for the media company NBC Universal. That's the media house that owns Universal Studios, DreamWorks and MSNBC, among a host of other things. Yaccarino has been working with NBC Universal since 2011, mostly in advertising and partnerships. She's been credited with monetizing NBC's vast network of properties. Basically, she's a top advertising executive, so it makes sense that she might become Twitter CEO. Because the platform could really use her expertise. Twitter has been hemorrhaging advertisers since Musk bought it last year. A lot of the platform's old clients weren't happy with Musk's devil-may-care approach, especially his offers of amnesty to people that had been banned, like Kanye West. The rapper, who now goes by the name Ye, was allowed back on Twitter last November, and he promptly went on to post anti-Semitic comments. He was booted again soon after, but the damage was done, which has mostly been Musk's approach to the platform, regarding hate speech at least. He lets the bigots back and then watches them get kicked off again, but not before they end up spreading vitriol. And that's what advertisers had a problem with. No one wants their ads to feature right after a hate tweet. Top advertisers like Coca-Cola, Unilever, Jeep and Wells Fargo had pulled their ads by January. Ad revenue was down by over 60%. Musk was scrambling for other sources of income. He tried to push Twitter Blue, the paid subscription option on the app. It was launched, relaunched and relaunched again globally. But reports say it hasn't made much of an impact. So maybe that's why Musk is looking at Linda Yaccarino to succeed him. She understands the ad business, and she spent years working with advertisers. Maybe she can get them to overlook Musk's chaotic antics, and perhaps restart Twitter's tried and tested revenue stream. But what will Musk do 6 weeks from now when his successor arrives? Go back to looking after his other companies, like electric vehicle maker Tesla, or private rocket firm SpaceX, or brain chip company Neuralink? Musk does have other things to keep him occupied. But it doesn't look like he's done with his $44 billion purchase just yet. Look at his tweet again. He says he will transition into being Twitter's executive chairperson and chief technology officer. Well, that's what CTO is supposed to stand for. You'd never really know with Musk, though. He says after the new CEO arrives, he will still be overseeing product, software, and sysops. Sounds quite hands-on. What happens if there's a power struggle? Will the CEO be able to fire the billionaire? We'll probably find out sooner rather than later. Twitter has had 5 CEOs in 17 years. Will the 6th one be able to rescue the social media giant and survive Musk?
Now to the war in Ukraine. It turns out Russia may have a secret partner. South Africa. There's a storm brewing in Pretoria. The US envoy to South Africa made an explosive claim. He says South Africa is arming Russia. Listen to this.
The government of South Africa is in fact not aligned. Amongst the things that we noted were the docking of the Russian cargo ship Lady R in Simonstown between December 6th and December 8th, 2022, which we are confident uploaded weapons, ammunition onto that vessel in Simonstown as it made its way back to Russia, which does not suggest to us the actions of a non-aligned country.
He says the US is confident that weapons and ammunition were uploaded on the Russian ship. Where did he say this happened? At Simonstown, near Cape Town, home to South Africa's largest naval base. Now, this is a very serious allegation. South Africa claims to be a neutral country in this war. It has refused to condemn Moscow's invasion. It says dialogue is the only way to resolve the conflict. Now, America says it is arming Russia. How do you think they responded? Not with a denial. President Cyril Ramaphosa addressed the South African parliament yesterday. He said the matter was being looked into and that South Africa will be able to speak about it, quote unquote, in time. That doesn't sound good at all. It's a diplomatic nightmare for the allegedly neutral country. Meanwhile, the US has welcomed Ramaphosa's probe.
It certainly would be a welcome step, but again, the deeply concerning piece of this is the docking of a sanctioned Russian vessel at a South African naval port.
And while Russia's supposed covert ally is being grilled, Ukraine's allies are sending weapons non-stop. The UK will send the Storm Shadow missiles to Ukraine. What are these? Long-range missiles. This makes the UK the first country to send such weapons to Ukraine. British Defence Minister Ben Wallace spoke about it yesterday.
Today I can confirm that the UK is donating Storm Shadow missiles to Ukraine. Storm Shadow is a long-range, conventional-only precision strike capability. It complements the long-range systems already gifted, including HIMARS and Harpoon missiles, as well as Ukraine's own Neptune cruise missile and longer-range missions elsewhere gifted. The donation of these weapon systems gives Ukraine the best chance to defend themselves against Russia's continued brutality.
He was quick to add that the Storm Shadows complement other long-range systems. Now, it makes it seem like this is not an escalation, but like I said, the UK is the first country to give long-range missiles to Kiev. It's something Ukrainian President Zelensky has been asking for a while now. The Storm Shadow missiles can hit targets 250 kilometers away. That's almost double the range of the Harpoon missiles that Wallace compared them with. So it definitely marks a new stage in the war. There's been a lot of talk about a spring counteroffensive. Zelensky is likely hoping to stock up weapons before that. Both nations, Russia and Ukraine, were waiting for winter to end before the next phase of intense fighting. Zelensky has not given the go-ahead yet, but in a recent interview, he portrayed confidence. Let me quote from what he said. With what we have, we can go forward and be successful. But we'd lose a lot of people. I think that's unacceptable. So we need to wait. We still need a bit more time. Is that false bravado or an accurate assessment? We'll see in the coming months. But there are indications that Russia may be faltering. The biggest battleground is still Bakhmut, a city in eastern Ukraine. Russians have been claiming success for the last few weeks. The battle is being led by Yevgeny Prigozhin. He is the leader of Russia's Wagner mercenary group. Last month, he said he had captured the city of Bakhmut. Now it turns out that Bakhmut is still not in Russia's control. Ukraine says Russian troops are pulling back, and the Wagner chief did threaten to pull back a few days ago. He said Russia was not giving him enough weapons to fight, and he will ask his men to withdraw. He even released a video purportedly showing his dead fighters. Later, he said the army was sending supplies, but only a tenth of what had been promised. Yesterday, he said Ukraine was winning the Battle of Bakhmut. Well, that's also what Ukraine is saying. The Wagner chief is blaming the Russian military for all of this. He says that a Russian army unit fled the front lines, that they were given quote-unquote criminal orders from the military top brass. Honestly, it's hard to ascertain the truth, but this infighting has been going on for a while. It's the Wagner Group versus the Russian military. They were supposed to be fighting as one team. Now they're fighting each other, and it doesn't bode well for Russia. Now let's turn our attention to the US. It has a serious drug shortage. It has hit cancer treatment medication the hardest. These record shortages have reached a 5-year high, and the problem is not only the lack of medicines, the problem is also their quality. They're of poor quality. There are growing concerns. Patients are being impacted every day, and families which are already going through a medical crisis are also now suffering additional emotional trauma. Anger is mounting against the Biden administration. What does the US president propose to do to address this? Here's a report.
The drug supply in the US is sick. Chronic problems are hurting it. There are drug shortages, which have reached a 5-year high. Cancer treatment drugs are among the hardest hit, and most drugs are facing supply problems. Americans are struggling to find something as common as antibiotics. But the issue is not limited to shortages. There are lapses in safety as well. Like in the case of eye drops causing infections, they've made some users permanently blind, and in one case led to the death of a person. But these problems aren't new. America has been facing these problems for the last few years. The US government first noticed them in 2021, and they've been trying to fight it since then. But trying is the key word here, because much progress hasn't been made. The hits to drug supply are only increasing. People's anger is mounting, but no real changes have been seen. Now, reports say the US government is trying something different. The Biden administration has put together a secret task force. Why secret? Because they've been taking these steps quietly. Too much information isn't available, except that the team is comprised of a group of White House officials, and they have two primary goals: increasing the availability of drugs and the quality of medicines. President Joe Biden's top domestic policy officer is the driving force behind this team. Her name is Susan Rice, and she's been meeting the team frequently since around the beginning of this year. In theory, this sounds like a team of superheroes assembling to tackle this drug crisis, but the reality is a tad bit different. Rice is leaving her post this month, and her initial plan was to chalk out a strategy before she does. She had asked the team to finalize proposals by early spring, but clearly that hasn't happened. The group missed that deadline. They struggled to reach a consensus, which is not surprising. This is a complex pharmaceutical problem. There's a lack of funding in the system. And even if changes are to be brought, bureaucracy stands in the way. Changes have to be agreed upon by the White House, which is time-consuming. The problem has persisted for so long that it has harmed drug makers too. Due to the problems in supply, they've been driven out of business, which has further aggravated the crisis. But while this team waits to reach a conclusion, the problem is only growing. Drug shortages increased by nearly 30% between 2021 and 2022. Currently, there are more than 300 types of drugs with an active shortage. 50 of these have been added to the list in the past 3 months, and this list includes medications for cancer, ADHD, and respiratory diseases. 9 out of 10 oncologists say the shortage of medication is directly harming patients, even leading to their deaths. The situation is clearly fatal. The US government seems like it's trying to resolve the problem, but time is running out. People are being deprived of the care they deserve, and this crisis is only getting worse by the day. So while the government may be preparing for a storm, they should know that it's already here.
Our last story tonight is a commentary on our times, where the pursuit of views and likes on social media is pushing people to extreme ends. One man crashed a plane to get more views. He got 3 million views. He said the engine failed, but an inquiry proved otherwise. He's now admitted that he did it to get viewers, and he's facing 20 years in jail for this. It sounds extreme, but such behavior is more common than you'd imagine. We inhabit a world where people have built careers on social media, and your success is measured in views and subscriber counts. But the audience can be fickle, and the quest for higher numbers is forcing people to take extreme risks. Here's a report.
This is Trevor Jacob, a 29-year-old American, a former Olympic snowboarder, and now a YouTuber. About a year and a half ago, he jumped out of his plane. He parachuted out of it. Soon after that, the plane crashed in the Santa Barbara County. Turns out, he deliberately crashed it. Jacob had installed cameras on the plane. He even destroyed its wreckage and noticed that he flew down with a selfie stick. Now that's probably one no one stresses enough on, to never forget your selfie stick in an emergency. And you can probably guess why he did all of this. To garner views on YouTube. He videotaped the stunt and the crash, posted it on YouTube, and got 3 million views. But here's the plot twist he wasn't looking for. He now faces up to 20 years in prison. What Jacob did is definitely strange, but for social media, it's quite normal. It has seen this and more, like scores of people trying to mail themselves by post, in a box, and succeeding. One YouTuber taped his body with Mentos and jumped in a pool with over 13,000 liters of cola. Another legally married her sister's boyfriend. Thousands of such bizarre videos float across social media, garnering millions of views. The question is, why? Why are people willing to indulge in these absurd, potentially wasteful, and even life-threatening activities? The answer is simple. They're all playing a game called What's the Craziest Thing You'd Do for Attention? Because social media works on a simple principle. Influencers make themselves a product, and then they find ways to sell it. Their success is measured in numbers that are visible to all, be it likes, comments, views, or subscriber counts. The life of influencers is often distilled to these numbers, which can feel like an adrenaline shot that instantly boosts self-esteem and pays. You can earn millions through videos of your shenanigans, buy mansions with that money, turn to writing books, or become movie stars. It's all been done. YouTubers sell this dream of fame and fortune that's often fed to the youth, especially as they make YouTube's largest consumer base. About 77% of internet users between the ages of 15 and 35 are on YouTube, and the use of YouTube is only growing. It has over 2 billion monthly active users. More than 500 hours of content is uploaded on it every minute. And do you know where YouTube's largest audience base is? In India. 467 million active users, followed by the US and Brazil. These numbers convert into big money, and the validation brings addictive highs, but the lows hit just as hard. There's an urgency to create content, and desperation to make it a full-time job. This can be taxing. It takes a psychological toll. Excessive use of social media negatively affects mental health. It can cause depression and anxiety, and it brings a lot of pressure. It pushes you to be reckless. The question is, where do we draw the line?
And now it's time for Vantage Shots, images that tell the story. We start on an inspiring note. Cambodian runner Bu Sam Nang lost a race, but won the hearts of many. She was finishing last in the women's 5,000-meter final at Southeast Asian Games, but determined, she finished the race despite torrential rain. Meanwhile, Swedish climate activists threw red paint on the finance ministry building. They warned the government to stop funding fossil fuels. And for Mexican migrants waiting for asylum in the US, it's a case of border divides, but pizza unites. Migrants waiting on the US side of the border order food from restaurants on the Mexican side. And finally, what happened in history today on the 12th of May? The year was 1943. During World War II, a German commander in North Africa surrendered after the famous Battle of El Alamein. The North Africans surprised the German forces with their brute resolve and pushed them out. We're leaving you with these images. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Monday.
This is the film record of the closing stages of the last battle in Africa, where they surrendered in droves. This is nearing the climax of the greatest German setback since Stalingrad. This time the newsreel camera goes over with a number of flying fortresses. This is a very small incident in the non-stop blitzing of Italian targets from North Africa.
that this validates and vindicates his position that there is a corrupt system out there represented by the civilian government and maybe even elements within the army. And he's the guy who's trying to fix the system, and now the system is fixing him. So in a sense, the events of the last couple of days, politically speaking, when he is finally fully released, doesn't this vindicate his position?
Actually, the case in which Imran Khan has been arrested, the case is very strong as far as my understanding is concerned. And Imran Khan was asked by the National Accountability Bureau to join the investigation, but he was reluctant to join the investigation. And they sent him many requests that he and his wife, Bushra Bibi, they should join the investigation. But they never joined the investigation. Today, Imran Khan told the Supreme Court that I responded National Accountability Bureau through my lawyer.
Okay.
But that is not the case.
Hello and welcome to the late night edition with me, Ayushman Singh Jamwal. Our top focus is the chaos in Pakistan, ladies and gentlemen. And breaking news coming in amid the arrest drama surrounding Imran Khan. Maryam Nawaz Sharif has hit out at the Chief Justice of Pakistan again. She has tweeted, and I quote, "Being the Chief Justice does not mean enslaving the state to a person who has burnt every symbol of national honor and national defense to ashes through his pet thugs. Preventing such a person from being arrested in any case makes him a royal guest. You have lost your dignity after becoming a facilitator of a terrorist playing with the country's destiny. You are using your chair for Imran's politics. So now be prepared for a political backlash." That is the pitch coming in from Maryam Nawaz Sharif. But we're getting another reaction from Imran Khan himself from inside the court premises. Let's listen in.
अब 3 घंटे हो गए हैं। 3 घंटे से मुझे इन्होंने यहाँ रखा हुआ है अदालत के अंदर, जाने नहीं दे रहा है। कभी कोई बहाना मारते हैं, कभी कोई बहाना मारते हैं। मैं आज सारी कौम को कह रहा हूँ कि अदालत ने मुझे हर जगह बेल दे दी है। मेरे ऊपर अब कोई केस नहीं है, मैं आज़ाद हूँ। उसके बावजूद इन्होंने मुझे यहाँ किडनैप किया हुआ है, ज़बरदस्ती रखा हुआ है। मैं सारी कौम को आज ये बताना चाहता हूँ कि इनकी बदनीयती है, ये फिर से कुछ करना चाहते हैं। सारी कौम तैयार हो जाए कि एक जब अदालतों के फैसले नहीं माने जा रहे, जिस मुल्क के अंदर कानून की हैसियत ही ख़त्म हो गई है, तो अवाम को पुरअमन एहतजाज करना चाहिए। नहीं तो हम भेड़ बकरियां बन गए हैं। अब जब आइन की भी कोई परवाह ना हो, जब कानून की भी परवाह ना हो, जो ताकतवर हो जो मर्जी चाहे, कि अदालत ने फैसला कर दिया कि मैं आज़ाद हूँ। 3 जजेस ने हाई कोर्ट के फैसला किया है, उसके बावजूद मुझे यहाँ रोका हुआ इन्होंने पिछले 3 घंटे से। मैं सारी कौम को अभी बता रहा हूँ, आप पुरअमन तरीके से एहतजाज के लिए तैयार हो जाएं।
So that is the pitch coming in from Imran Khan himself. He's saying that he has been kidnapped by the authorities. He's saying he's been kept inside the court for almost 3 hours now, despite the ruling of the court which said that he cannot be arrested till the 17th of May. That's the pitch coming in from Imran Khan. He is telling his supporters, be ready for an agitation, a fresh call for protest coming in from Imran Khan. Those are the visuals on your screen, latest from ground zero in Pakistan as this arrest drama continues. I'm joined by my colleague Abhishek on the phone line to get the latest when it comes to the tussle between Imran Khan and the Pakistan government. Abhishek, give us the latest.
So the latest has been the drama that has been unfolding in Pakistan for the last 22 hours or so. Continues unabated with more theatricals coming in from PTI. Imran Khan has said that the police, his earlier accusation against the establishment continues, where he says that he's been forced to sit in the court and there is something that is being planned against him. In the past, he has said that the establishment and the army in collusion wants to kill him or politically sideline him. He still knows that the supporters of Imran Khan or the fans of Imran Khan across Pakistan are very much on the tenterhooks, and they are readily available to come out in large numbers to protest. And this is the worry that law and order establishment and the administration is also anticipating. And this is the hard bargain, in fact, which is going on between PTI and the government setup. and which side will blink first, whether Imran Khan will be released or let go from the court peacefully to Lahore, his house, or will there be again an arrest attempt on Imran Khan the moment he leaves the premises of Islamabad High Court, because the Islamabad High Court has said that no arrest could be made while a person is still in the court premises. So this is the loopholes, this is the legality that Imran Khan is using to stir this whole protest and this whole passion among his party workers across Pakistan. And of course, the law and the administration and the government is also at loggerheads with how to deal with this emerging situation.
At the same time, what is the action plan of the Pakistan government, Abhishek? Because they themselves have continued to maintain that this man, Imran Khan, is an anarchist. He's only spreading chaos across Pakistan. But looking at this legal relief that Imran Khan has got, and now those visuals coming in that Imran Khan has left the court premises, what is the game plan of the Pakistan government now?
So see, Ayushman, the situation in Pakistan, the political situation is very dynamic. In fact, there are so many information and misinformation right now going on. There are reports that there has been some discontent among senior army brass about General Muni's action and his call for managing this whole situation and letting people in and not letting them stop the crowd and the protest against the army establishment in the past. So this is one aspect of the situation. Another is that Shahbaz Sharif-led government in Pakistan continues to tread a very severe criticism against Imran Khan, calling him by names and telling that he's doing drama and everything, is a corrupt person and all. But at the same time, they are not sure whether releasing Imran Khan or keeping him detained or arresting Imran Khan will create another scenario that has unfolded in Pakistan in the last 72 hours, which was kind of monitored by globally. There was a global criticism on this, or at least some government, including US government, had a commentary on that. So whether they want to go back to that scenario where there is absolute anarchy and Imran Khan is the leader of that anarchy, or they want to have some negotiation, whether both have a ceremonial or at least a respectable exit from this current chaotic scenario. This is the hard negotiation that is going on between the two sides, and unless both sides sit together or there is some back channel talk happens between the two sides, the situation would not remain calm, and it would create more confusion among the normal people who doesn't have as much of information sources as from the top.
Right. So Imran Khan finally leaving court. That's the reports that we are getting from Pakistan. But as my colleague Abhishek is also pointing out, the Shahbaz Sharif government is also facing a lot of backlash across the main cities of Pakistan. At the same time, Maryam Nawaz Sharif has taken a direct shot at the Chief Justice of Pakistan, blaming him for the legal relief that Imran